Hey my friend, welcome back to a new video. There's a moment in your life when something inside of you begins to speak louder than the world around you. And sometimes you don't know how to put it into words, but it's real. It doesn't speak through drama or some big events or loud voices, but through very subtle impulses, subtle feelings, inner sensations. And it gives you quiet signals and signs that you can't ignore anymore. I want to talk today about 6 different signs you shouldn't ignore by your higher self. So if you found yourself here today, it's not an accident. Something in you is ready to hear, ready to reconnect, ready to rise into a new version of yourself. And often right before a major turning point, your higher self begins sending you very specific signs, urgent signals that you're meant to pay attention to. So before you make another decision, before you push yourself into another direction, or before you wait and are just being passive, listen, my friend. Maybe take a deep breath and just notice. What if there was a feeling that was a bit deeper and actually had a message for you, but maybe you had no knowledge how to translate it? That's what I want to give you today. Urgent signs that your higher self is giving to you, that is actually signaling to you that it's time to redirect. It's time to make some kind of a change. But firstly, what is the higher self? Well, my friend, first of all, welcome back. My name is Gasper. I'm the artist behind this channel, and I make these messages to help you, guide you on the path that's the most meant for you, the most liberating for you, the most fulfilling and abundant for you. So enjoy today's message, enjoy today's painting. What is the higher self? Well, your higher self is the most expanded, wise, and unconditional aspect of you. It's not separate, mystical, or unreachable. It's the you that exists beyond fear, beyond survival, and beyond old identity. It's the inner intelligence that sees your life from a higher vantage point, the soul level perspective that understands your purpose, your lenses, your patterns, and your potential. While the mind reacts based on past experiences, the higher self communicates through intuition, clarity, emotion, inner knowing, synchronicity, and physical sensations. It doesn't argue, it doesn't shout, it doesn't speak loud. It simply guides with an incredible precision. And when your life is about to shift, or you're misaligned, or something new is trying to come into your reality, that guidance becomes more urgent. It shows up in very specific ways. And I want to share with you 6 different ways how it shows up in your life. This is very powerful because that's how you start learning to listen to that inner guidance. I often talk about this. I often mention to you, go within and hear what that inner world is saying to you. But if we live in our minds, we hold expectations, like there should be an angel figure, or there should be something very loud, or there should be something very specific. But we need to ask ourselves what kind of language is the most understandable for us, and usually it's a sudden inner no. Like we all understand it, right? We go into something that doesn't truly fit us, and there's a loud no deep within, but we're still forcing because we think it's the right thing because someone else did it. That's the first sign, a sudden inner no. even when something looks perfect. Sometimes a decision looks aligned on paper, logical, profitable, or socially approved, but your body feels like it's just not your path. Maybe your whole body tightens, your nervous system tightens, and you know there's something wrong. It's not truly wrong, it's just not your path. You see, your higher self often speaks first through somatic resistance. It's a feeling in the gut, it's heaviness in the chest, or sense of hesitation that you don't know where to put it. This is the part of you that can sense what your mind can't yet see. You see, our minds are attracted to glittering things. They're attracted to what already worked for others. They're attracted to what feels safe. But our soul is attracted to what it came here to do. And this is sometimes just not logical, and it doesn't make sense. That's why we need to investigate it. Like, why something resonates and other things don't. Like, why we feel so specifically pulled into a certain field. Like, when I've started my journey, I felt so deeply pulled into ancient wisdom, into mystical teachings, into wisdom from the past, into all kinds of teachings of how the universe works and all these things, and law of attraction and psychology and all of this. But at the same time, I was also deeply attracted into art, and I was inspired by great artists. And I had no idea why I was being pulled into this kind of directions until later I've realized, because it's my path. And to realize all of that, it will be a journey. It will be my adventure. And more I've followed it, more life started reorganizing things. Many times seemingly impossible things happened in my life in my favor that showed me that I'm on the right path. And I say truthfully, many things happened in a way that in the past I would say impossible. Like how I met the right people, how certain things happen out of nowhere, and even money sometimes came out of nowhere. Truthfully, things suddenly work. But I was also pulled on that journey into attracted directions, like certain financial opportunities that were not in sync with me. And I needed to say no, because I felt I don't want to go into that direction, even though I've started, just to see it's not my path. And I needed to return back onto my path. That's why you should never ignore a sudden inner no. So why it's urgent? It's redirecting you away from a timeline that drains you, delays you, or dims you. That's why it's important to realize that if there is no to this, there is yes to something else. And I always say to you, find out what your body says yes to. I don't mean certain surface level pleasures like eating sugar and watching TV and things like that. I'm not saying that, even though sometimes, yeah, why not, right? I'm saying what puts your soul on fire, and say yes to this kind of things. What endeavors, what projects, what people, what opportunities put yourself on fire when it comes to aliveness. Even if it's scary, there's a great excitement and joy in doing that. That's what we need to focus on. The second sign your higher self gives you is emotional overwhelm that comes out of nowhere. I know you've experienced that before. Let me know in the comment section. Write yes if you've noticed that, if you can read your higher self so well already. It's a good sign, my friend. If you suddenly feel sad, restless, irritated, or deeply exhausted, it's rarely random. This is usually a purge, your higher self clearing old emotion, so you don't carry it into the next phase. Now when you're hearing this, it may sound like there's a force beyond you that is sometimes doing things without your permission, but it's not like that. Actually, it's you on a higher awareness level that sometimes your lower self or your ego self would never do such things. You see, from ego, we often do things to please others. We often do things to feel safe. We often stay in the comfort zone just because it's familiar, because ego self is a pattern-driven consciousness. And it seeks its own importance just to stay alive. But it also protects you so you wouldn't get hurt. That's how it recognizes the right pattern for its existence. It's usually being safe, being seen, being heard, being loved. But higher self is beyond that. Higher self understands that true love, true unconditional love comes from connection, not pleasing. And recognition is not so important as truth and resonance. That's why higher self on a higher level, you see, you on a higher level want to make way different decisions than you on the ego level. And when your consciousness is ready to evolve, your ego self will be disturbed. Things in your life will stop working the way they used to work because your time for evolution has come. And now the biggest test in this evolution is, will you be able to trust the unfolding that is happening? And that's when often this emotional overwhelm comes out of nowhere. Like you suddenly feel sad, restless, irritated, or deeply exhausted. Especially when these things are happening truly out of nowhere. Like not that someone hurt you and you feel sad, that's obvious. But when you feel these things out of nowhere, it's a message from your higher self. It's urgent because it means you're outgrowing something, and the emotional surge is the release mechanism. So it means feel it to heal it, feel it to release it, and see what kind of wisdom comes with it. Many people are feeling this right now because their higher selves are guiding them. Your higher self is guiding you at this point. I mentioned in the previous video, your soul is taking over. And what we're going through as well is ego death, the process of ego death, where this pattern-driven consciousness is slowly dissolving. So soul-driven consciousness, so resonance-driven consciousness, truth-driven consciousness can take place and be grounded in our wonderful physical bodies. The third sign you should never ignore is repeating patterns or themes showing up everywhere. When you keep hearing the same message, seeing the same number pattern, feeling the same intuition, or experiencing the same conflict, it's a sign you're being guided to break a cycle. Now, with numbers, it's a bit more funny because it may also be your own manifestation. If you want to see 1111 all over the place, that's what you will find. But when certain themes are repeating, like messages, you hear a song with the same message all over the place, or you come on YouTube and you see the same message all over the place. You talk with people and same topics come up with almost everyone, then you know there's a message, there's a subtle message that is trying to reach your awareness, and you shouldn't ignore it. Why it's urgent? Because ignoring it means staying stuck in the same loop until the lesson becomes louder and more painful. You see, pattern can be changed if it's not recognized and changed. So what it means you need to see where you're living your life in loops that are not serving you. And then what is required from you is to redirect yourself. That's why your higher self is giving you this repeating patterns. Like sometimes we go into same conflicts over and over and over again and not realize, yeah, I'm reacting way too much. Every time I got triggered, I react. And that's why we don't evolve. Or you are often going through the same pattern financially, like every single month you spend everything. And you're in this kind of loop. And you don't see that there must be a change. And I'm sure you already came, if that's you, you already came into the right information to make a change, but you didn't apply it. That's when your higher self will interfere and will wake you up a little bit, will increase the amount of challenges, will increase the amount of pain. It's you doing that to you, to wake up from your ego, just to know that. Because once you do, you will change your life for the better, and you will be so grateful that these challenges were there. Know that, my friend. The fourth sign you should never ignore is a collapse of old things that once worked. Like plans fall apart, people drift away, opportunities vanish. And those things sometimes feel like punishments, but it's actually timeline correction. We came to the point on our line of time where we've realized this path was okay, but it was not so fulfilling. And that's when we can change our path. We can ask ourselves, what's more fulfilling to me? You see, your higher self removes what can't follow you into expansion. If something is feeling, or if you feel like something is falling apart, it means something else is trying to anchor in, is trying to come in. And when I'm experiencing this kind of things, I always ask myself, okay, do I still feel like I want to do what I'm doing? And if the answer is yes, then I just allow things to be however they are. I accept it completely. Like, I'm not bothered. Even if things are not ideal, even if circumstances in my life are not how I would like them to be, I accept it completely because I see something bigger is unfolding. And I'm actually training my frequency to be more open, to be more receptive, to be less reactive. And that's when suddenly things work and shift and change. Because I allow the collapse of all things happen. Because I know I'm guided from deeper wisdom and intelligence that already knows what's best right now. And we all can access that deeper wisdom and intelligence when we calm down, when we relax, when we go into inner quietness, into our inner cave, and we listen. We all have access to it, but we need to practice it. That's why I'm teaching meditation as well, to gain that muscle that allows you to access inner quietness. The fifth sign is a pull toward something you can't explain. That maybe random idea, that desire to change cities, that sudden interest in a topic or path, like I mentioned before, how I felt called into certain subjects and art, or that urge to rest, to study, to create, or to withdraw when your friends are calling you out to party. These aren't random things. Those are deep instructions from your inner self, and if you listen, it means you're guided. So why it's urgent? Because your higher self reveals the next step as a calling, not a plan. The pull shows you what you need before you even know why. That's why it's so important and powerful. You don't know why, but you just feel like you need to do it. And if you do, you will know why you needed to do it. And the sixth sign is deep fatigue that doesn't match your activity level. I've noticed so many people are going through this right now because their higher selves are guiding them into evolution. This is often energetic exhaustion, not physical one. It happens when your system is recalibrating or your soul is trying to pull you out of misalignment, out of a lifestyle that is not sustainable or not aligned with your life's mission or life's path. And to those of you who are more deeply interested into how to discover your life's path or life's mission, let me know in the comment section. We can talk so much about this. So why this sign is urgent, deep fatigue, when it doesn't match your activity level? The fatigue forces you to stop long enough for clarity to break through. So it may happen, you feel fatigue, you do 10 minutes of meditation maybe where you find clarity, and then suddenly you are full of energy. That's how it may work many times. So if you've been feeling these signs, I hope this can give you some clarity to pay attention to them, because only from my personal experience I can say to you that this is real. And when these things happen, even though sometimes they may seem a bit negative, they're always for the positive transformation that you are going through. And you will always be grateful at the end that these things happened. Because you will see, you don't even know how much there is in your future. Events, experiences, incredible relationships that you would never tap in if you would not make a change that you feel so called to do it. And if you do, you will be amazed and you will be surprised and you will be so grateful and proud of yourself that you did it. So listen to yourself, not your ego self, your truth or truthful self or higher self. I will leave you here. I hope you found a great value today. I hope you've enjoyed in today's painting as well. To anyone who would like to get a print of it, you can go onto AttractPassion.com and you will find all of my work there. So go and check it out, which painting resonates with you. I channel these paintings, I see them in my mind's eye, and therefore I paint them. So when a painting is finished, there comes a message with it. So each painting has a unique story, unique message. So check it out, which one resonates with you and what it has to say for you. And also join our Patreon community if you would like to go deeper into certain teachings. I've created a course, Level Up Your Life, and right now I'm also creating teachings on meditation from beginning to more advanced practices that can help you to deepen your connection and elevate your life. And also you can join YouTube membership if you would love to support this channel. Thank you so much, my friend. Until next time, one love.